Donald Trump is having a meltdown this morning as Ukrainian President Zelenskyy is standing up to Donald Trump and not submitting. Donald Trump making this post on his social media platform, calling Zelenskyy, quote, a dictator who better move fast or he is not going to have a country left. Donald Trump threatening Zelenskyy and Ukraine, just outright overt threats on social media. Let me read for you this entire post that Donald Trump made this morning. He goes, think of it, a modestly successful comedian, Volodymyr Zelenskyy, talked the United States of America into spending $350 billion to go into war that couldn't be won, that never had to start, but a war that he, without the U.S. and, quote, Trump, will never be able to settle. Just pause right there. What a despicable, dastardly thing to say right there, as though Zelenskyy scammed the U.S. No, Donald. Russia unlawfully invaded Ukraine, and Russia and Putin want to take over Europe, and they also want to crush the United States. I know you're Putin's puppet, but Putin and Russia want to destroy the United States of America and all of Europe, and we do not want to be part of Russia, unlike you. Trump goes on to say, the United States has spent $200 billion more than Europe, and Europe's money is guaranteed, while the United States will get nothing back. Pause right there. We'll get nothing back. Do you understand the United States' place in the world? Also, Donald Trump's numbers are never accurate. Why didn't sleepy Joe Biden demand equalization in that this war is far more important to Europe than it is to us? We have a big, beautiful ocean as separation. On top of this, Zelenskyy admits that half of the money we sent him is, quote, missing. Pause right there. There's a reason earlier today that Zelenskyy said that Donald Trump is literally living in Russian disinformation echo chambers. And by the way, I think Zelenskyy is being diplomatic there. Donald Trump is the Russian disinformation echo chamber as the main purveyor and spreader of these lies that are all lies. Zelenskyy never said that at all. But let me keep on reading. It goes on to say, he refuses to have elections, is very low in Ukrainian polls, and the only thing he was good at was playing Biden, quote, like a fiddle. Just pause right there. His polling number is lower than it was at the start of the war. Zelenskyy still polls above 50%. Donald Trump yesterday during a press conference while Trump was vacationing at Mar-a-Lago, Trump said Zelenskyy's approval rating was 4%. Which is entirely false. Also, the talking point that Ukraine needs to hold elections before there is any negotiations or peace talks to happen, that is a Russia talking point as well. Donald Trump just taking the Russia talking point directly from Vladimir Putin. He goes on top of this, and then he says, a dictator without elections, Zelenskyy better move fast, or he's not going to have a country left. In the meantime, we are successfully negotiating an end to the war with Russia, something all admit only, quote, Trump and the Trump administration can do. And he randomly capitalizes Trump and puts it in quotes because he's a sick, disgusting, psychopathic, malignant narcissist who refers to himself like that. Biden never tried, which is false. Europe has failed to bring peace, and Zelenskyy probably wants to keep the, quote, gravy train going. I love Ukraine, but Zelenskyy has done a terrible job. His country is shattered and millions have unnecessarily died. And so it continues. What a traitorous and despicable statement this morning to be made by the leader of the United States. Shame on Donald Trump and all of you spineless, cowardly Republicans who went there to Munich, who shook Zelenskyy's hand and said, we've got your back, while still being complicit and supporting this wacko authoritarian wannabe regime here, authoritarian regime that looks up to Putin here in the United States. Let me just share with you what Zelenskyy said over the past 24 to 48 hours when he was asked why he didn't sign a contract that the Trump administration put in front of him without any security guarantees at all, demanding that Zelenskyy provide all of the Ukrainian rare earth materials and minerals to the United States with no guarantees in return. Just sign on the dotted line, Zelenskyy. What Donald Trump was trying to do was a shakedown so Trump and Putin can split the plunders of Ukraine and create a Russia-centric world order. Here's what Putin said. Let's play it.
The problem with what they presented. What was the issue with what the Americans showed you yesterday?
It's not in our interests today. Not in interests of sovereign Ukraine. I'm just a president. I'm a manager. And after my term, there will be another manager. And these resources, this is not mine, of our people. And I'm a guarantor that these resources will have our children with all partners. Please make profits, make business, is open for your companies, in some cases exclusive to your players. We are strategic partner, and that's why we trust Americans, American people, and some European countries who helped a lot. It's about it, but it's not mine. I'm not take, give. No, it's very serious things. Okay.
And by the way, remember what Donald Trump said while he was campaigning? Do you remember when he said that he would end the war before he even took office? Because he says he knows Zelenskyy well and he would be able to resolve the situation in 24 hours. He said even before he took office, during the transition, he'd be able to accomplish it. Well, I've got the receipts. Let's play that clip.
End the war in Ukraine in 24 hours.
Yes, I
How
could.
would you do that?
I know Zelenskyy very well.
I'll end that war between those two countries in 24 hours. It won't even take that.
I mean, but by the way, Donald Trump lies about everything. I mean, here's the video of him saying that he was going to, well, I'll just do the side by side here, okay? Of Trump saying that he was going to bring down prices on day one. Prices were going down under former President Biden, and now the prices are going back up. Inflation is back, and it's surging under Donald Trump because of his reckless economic policies that have hit America very, very quickly. Here, play this clip.
Starting the day I take the oath of office, I will rapidly drive prices down and we will make America affordable again. We're going to make it affordable again.
Yeah. And inflation is back. I'm only here for 2.5 weeks.
That was January.
Inflation is back.
For a week.
No, think of it. Inflation's back. And they said, oh, Trump inflation. I had nothing to do with it.
In addition to that post about Zelenskyy, Donald Trump then posted fact sheet. President Donald J. Trump reins in independent agencies to restore a government that answers to the American people. What Donald Trump is referring to is he signed an authoritarian, unlawful executive order yesterday while vacationing as well in Palm Beach. That according to this executive order, the only person who can tell an agency what the law is, it's not judges, it's not the agency's own expertise, that Donald Trump declares whatever the law is for all agencies, and that he has the direct control, and that everybody, whether you're the SEC, whether you're the FCC, whether you're the FEC, whether you're the FTC, whatever the agency is, you now report directly to the Office of Management and Budget, Russ Vought, the author of Project 2025, who reports directly to Donald Trump. These agencies in the past had been independent agencies that pursue their independent policies. But now Trump is saying it all goes through me. I say what the SEC does. I say what the FEC does. I say what everything does. Donald Trump is an authoritarian. Here, play this clip.
Lastly, we have another executive order that President Trump signed relating to independent agencies. This executive order would establish important oversight functions in the Office of Management and Budget and its subsidiary office, OIRA, supervising independent agencies and many of their actions, and also reestablishes the longstanding norm that only the president or the attorney general can speak for the United States when stating an opinion as to what the law is.
Thank you very much, Will. That was the primary purpose of this conference.
Just so you can see this executive order for yourself, It's called Ensuring Accountability for All Agencies. And if you read it, it goes on to say that it says that in order to approve administration of the executive branch and to increase regulatory officials' accountability to the American people, it shall be the policy of the executive branch to ensure presidential supervision and control of the entire executive branch. Moreover, all executive departments and agencies, including so-called independent agencies, shall submit for review all proposed and final significant regulatory actions to the Office of Information Regulatory Affairs within the Executive Office of the President before publication. The so-called, he calls them so-called independent agencies. Also, if you look at Section 7, Trump's new executive order instructs federal employees to ignore the judiciary's interpretation of the law and follow his instead. Meanwhile, you have DOJ. It looks like they're changing the numbers where they're claiming fraud exists. So yesterday they claimed that they found $8 billion in fraud, but when you actually looked at this specific company's government contract, it didn't say 8 billion. It actually said 8 million, but DOJ said that they saved 8 billion. And then they changed the numbers, it looks like, in the computer system to have it be reflective of 8 billion. I actually reached out to that company directly, and the company told me that it was 8 million, a ceiling of 8 million, not 8 billion, as DOJ had said. And then we're also learning that Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem warned all of her employees that they would be getting polygraph tests to crack down on leaks that agency officials say have foiled immigration raids. All polygraphs must include questions on unauthorized communication with media and nonprofits. Ellen Gilmer got that scoop right there. Great work, Ellen. That's what we got for you right now. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 5 million subscribers.
Can't get enough Meidas? Check out the Meidas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MeidasPlus.com.